Do you want to grow?
Absolutely.
Snooze, you lose. Stand still, you're moving backwards. Hello and welcome to I Want to Grow, the podcast where we get special people on to talk about their businesses and talk about themselves too. So we today have a wonderful guest. Ahmad, please introduce yourself and tell us all about it.
Hi, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ahmad AlKhanji. I'm one of the co-founders of Hapondo. We've been in operation for 3 years now. Hapondo is basically Qatar's marketplace for real estate. We aim to be the one place that people can find anything related to real estate, especially available properties and quality information.
It's been 3 years, and I've seen your journey over the years.
Yeah.
And you've done brilliantly. I know that it's not easy coming into a marketplace, that there was competitors.
Yeah, it's not actually. It's been it's very challenging, I'll be honest with you, because most of the competitors have been there for 10 years or so.
Yeah.
So it's not easy for a startup to come and challenge these competitors because it becomes more of a financial challenge and historical challenge rather than an innovative challenge. And especially here because adapting to or trying something new is not really comfortable for a lot of people, especially when it comes to businesses.
So what happened at this? There was 4 of you in the beginning.
Yeah.
So what happened in the beginning? How did you look at it all come together and say, hey, you know something, we can do something for the real estate?
Yeah, so because we saw that real estate is a huge market here in Qatar. Okay, it's actually the second contributor after hydrocarbon to our GDP. So real estate is a big market. But when it comes to transparency, it's very low ranked if you check the international rankings of when it comes to real estate transparency. So we thought that we need to do something about it. And our main competitor is not from here. Okay, it's an Emirati company. And we thought that it should be a Qatari company that has most of the information when it comes to the real estate, not just because we are from here and all that, but because we think that Qatar deserves a quality platform that can match to the international standards. So I live personally abroad in UK and US, okay, and I've tried the platforms abroad, and I see the quality of information and the amount of information that real estate platforms have, and it's basically they can create an informed customer when it comes to renting a property or buying a property. That they can see the historical prices of the property that they're buying and some projections or estimations of how much could it be worth in the future. And I think that's something that should be available here in Qatar as well.
Was it something that you were all involved with? Did you have your own properties in the beginning?
We didn't have our own properties, I would say. That wasn't the reason that we started, but we had our own challenges. So some of us wanted to rent a property, some of us wanted to buy properties, whether it's land or apartments or villas, or whatever. So we had some kind of involvement with real estate. And we always had the problems with it when it comes to customer service and when it comes to technology itself. Okay, and when it comes to the available properties in the market. So even till now, we see a lot of properties in the market, but not online. Okay, so we still find people going to, for example, a neighborhood that they're interested in, and they look for empty lands or villas. They look for boards, basically physical boards that are on the property or the real estate, so that they can call the person if they're interested in buying. And I feel this is very ancient. Now it should be, since we have technology, everything should be online. There should be a place where people can find all the properties that are available for sale or for rent. So this is basically the aim that we are hoping for.
But you must have felt this as well. So I came here 13 years ago.
Yeah.
Technology wasn't nowhere near to the extent.
Exactly, yeah.
And everybody did. So the time has been changing by people's attitude towards technology.
Yeah.
Personally.
Exactly.
But you're saying that it's still, to a certain degree, people are still conforming to the way it used to be.
Yeah, because they're still not confident with the technology that's out there or the platforms that are out there. So I'll tell you an example. You would find a lot of fake ads online. Okay, fake ads meaning that they post random pictures, whatever pictures that are going to attract people, and put on numbers just so that they can get the contact and then try to sell them whatever they have rather than what actually they saw. Yeah. Okay, so customers would lose the trust. Okay, so they would find that they themselves go and look for it is much better than they look for it online.
And when you took this up, did you think it going to? What was your impression? Did you think to yourself, right, I'm going to be going into an area that's going to be really difficult?
Yeah.
Or was it easy?
It's actually difficult, still difficult. We have a new competitor coming up basically every month or every 2 months. There is a new platform that you would see. But they don't last for long, okay? Because the industry itself is difficult to penetrate, okay? Because you'll be dealing with businesses, you're gonna be dealing with the brokers. It's a B2B industry mainly. So it is very challenging, but then if it's not challenging, I don't think it's worth it. Okay, yeah, okay. I don't think it would have a big impact if it wasn't challenging.
I want to ask you as well, do you focus on your competitors?
I'd rather build something I would like. I would rather, that's what I always tell, the team and the partners, that let's build something that we would like to use, that we would like to have. That's something that we would be proud of, something that would make a difference. Okay, not copying and pasting. Yes, we can copy and paste, but we have to innovate as well. We need to add our own touches, our own features. At the same time, it's very important for us to get feedback from people, meaning users that are going to use the website, and from brokers. Okay, we want to create something that can adapt to the culture here, okay, to the society here, not just something that's been done outside. Because a lot of things that have been done outside are not necessarily compatible with our culture or society, for example. People behave differently in different regions of the world. And this is what we want to do with Hapondo. We want to build something that can accommodate the needs of our own society and community.
I love what we've done, and I love the progress. But how difficult was it in the beginning to listen to people's opinions?
Yeah, you will never get enough opinions. I mean, there will always be opinions, but you have to be confident in which ones are valuable and which ones maybe I wouldn't say invaluable. I would say maybe push it for later, for another time maybe. So making a priority list, for example. So there are things that people really focus on for a certain time. For example, during the World Cup, okay, we had a lot of interest in rent, short-term rent, okay. The World Cup is done. Now people are interested in sale and buying properties. So when we see these kind of trends, we need to adapt to them. And this is what we are trying to do with Hapondo, that we're always adapting to what people are looking for. So when I say the trend, it's basically the users leading the market rather than the brokers pushing for what they want to sell. Okay, so and the searches are a big indicator to us. So when people search for stuff, we understand. We tell the broker, the people are looking for this now. That's what they're interested in. So it's better you market these kind of properties. These are the areas that are people interested in. Market these areas. These are the prices that people are looking for.
Oh, I'm so glad that we've gone on to this subject. From mind perspective, yes. It's all about search engine optimization.
Exactly.
And what learning progress was that? That must have been for you. Did you know about this before?
I would be honest with you. I'm not specialized in it. I have a general understanding of it, but I have the help of people who have an understanding of it, who are specialized in it. For me, it's more of looking on the insights. So, okay, getting the general idea. It's more about being creative or innovative about it, and being quick. So I think that's one of the advantages that we have in comparison to our competitors, that we are agile. Because we're a small team, okay, it's a startup, we can adapt to changes very quickly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's so important when you're starting any business.
Exactly. That's an advantage, yeah.
I've seen you progress to where you came from to where you are today. What was it like trying to find all your USPs, and which were the USPs that really stand out to you that you love?
What do you mean exactly?
USPs, unique selling points. So what are those improvements that you look at and go, that's impressive?
Yeah, the selling points, I would tell you honestly, is that we've been able to get a lot of Qataris to be involved in the business itself and in the market as well. Okay, and also we're focusing so much on quality. Okay, the quality of information is very important to us. It's actually one of our missions is to improve the quality of the real estate market. By quality, I mean posting real pictures, okay, real prices. The description cannot be false information. Everything has to be real. Some you would come even to the location, for example. Some people don't like to share the location of the property, but we make sure it's the right location of the property, or at least as close as possible to the real location of the property. So this is one of our unique selling points, is that we focus on quality a lot, and that we're a Qatari company.
Yeah. And that's really important, because you are virtually all. I think you've got one non-Qatar.
Yes, yeah. We have.
She's a wonderful lady. Yeah. I think she's wonderful. She's been on our podcast.
Well, we need like different perspectives as well.
Of course, she's definitely got different perspectives.
Yeah,
which is brilliant, and it is important, because the thing with it is you've got 300,000 Qatar.
Exactly.
And there are some expats, so you've got to have different viewpoints.
Sure.
But as you said, when I asked you, are you really concerned on watching your competitors? And you said, no, I want to make sure that I go out and do a good job first.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what you've been doing from the day one.
Yeah.
And you haven't looked at your competitors, you've looked at all of the things that you can improve.
Yeah.
How difficult is it to keep up with improving and bringing new services and products?
So it's when you deal with technology, it's kind of difficult, I'll be honest with you, okay? Talent is not scarce here in Qatar. It's not available that much when it comes to technology talent, okay? But there are always ways around it. So this is what we are currently doing. We're building a new website that's gonna have some new features. But I would be honest with you, like businesses, go up and down, okay? But I think the one who would succeed are the consistent ones. The one who can keep up with the bad days and the good days. Okay, so I think consistency is key here. It's you have to keep pushing through, basically.
You've been consistent, but you keep on continually improving. And sometimes you promote your traffic and how it's improving. It's wonderful to see, because I know how hard it is with the technology.
It is.
With the website, because there's so many things to consider.
Exactly. So I always use, because it's a website, right? It's online. Online, it's not a location, basically. Basically, you're competing with anything that's gonna pop online. Yeah. Okay, so you don't have the location advantage. Okay, sometimes if you're gonna open up like a restaurant or a gym or whatever, location could give you an advantage to your business. Yeah. But online, there is no location advantage. Okay, you're basically in the World Wide Web, basically. Yeah. So it gives you a big challenge when it comes to promoting and marketing, because nobody's gonna pass by it and see it. You have to push it. So marketing is very important to us, actually. Now here I can refer to competitors. I look at competitors when it comes to their marketing strategy, when it comes to their number of visitors and such, because I need to have these indicators. I need to know what's going on in the market, basically, and to understand in the beginning, to understand if the market is worth it or not, okay, and what should be my I would say key performance indicators. Yep. So this is when we look at competitors, okay. But as a matter of building the business itself, I think we want to do what we would like to do, and what we'd like to do is what's going to serve the people best.
Okay. So you briefly touched on the World Cup.
Yeah.
People wanted short-term rents. What was the World Cup experience like for you? When did it begin for you? Was it 6 months before? Was it?
It was the whole year, basically.
The whole year?
Yeah, because people were, when in the World Cup, in 2022, January even, okay, people were already booking their properties, especially for visitors, people coming into Qatar. They're going to stay here for the month of the World Cup, for example. Some of them would come earlier, some companies or businesses that are working for the World Cup as well. they came earlier. So bookings were happening. There wasn't much availability in the market, okay, of properties. And a lot of them were taken by the government and such. So it was a struggle at that time. I'll be honest with you. There wasn't much availability, and our main business is marketing, real estate, listings. So yeah, it was a struggle. Prices were going high, but at the same time, a lot of people, homeowners, I would say, they were willing to rent their homes. Okay. So we saw a surge in that. That landlords and or homeowners, they want to sell what they have, they want to rent what they have, they want to take advantage of the opportunity of the World Cup. So so it was kind of like, okay, there are a lot of people who want to market, but there was a lot of unclarity, I would say, in the real estate market. But as you've seen, prices went up. Yeah. Okay, prices went up for the rent, but for buying, it remained the same. Yeah, still the same. Right. Okay, there wasn't a huge change in it. But yeah, the World Cup, I would say it was a struggle for marketing, for us especially, like for the platforms, because most of them were occupied.
And with so was it World Cup for you in your business? Was it a success for you in that respect?
Yes, I would say yes. I was expecting worse, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Okay, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. Okay, we still maintained our number of visitors, maintained our number of leads. So that was a good indicator that people visit actually our websites and actually interested in real estate and what we have to offer in our platform.
Yeah, and was the rentals really busy with it, or did you get a lot of the rental business?
It mostly was the rentals, basically. Yeah, mostly was rentals, because the brokers were pushing for rentals mainly. Yeah. Especially short term.
In that respect, you had a massive role to play with that World Cup because everything went so smoothly.
Yeah.
So everybody was establishing where they were staying and where they were, all the transportation was in place. So that must have been a year before.
I think it was generally, I think it was a historical World Cup. I think it was one of the best, if not the best.
100%. And people said to me, Neno, and I don't know what they're saying to you, but people are saying to me, it's so quiet.
Yeah.
Quiet.
Yeah.
I don't see that. I see it so risky. I think that
it was smooth. I don't think it was smooth. It's not that it was quiet, it was smooth.
It's like the swan, right? The swan is so graceful on the top of the...
Yeah, exactly.
And underneath.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It just kind of... But it was so smooth. Now, what should we expect now the World Cup is finished? Because we've got so many foreign companies coming in.
Yes.
Coming to Qatar. Because people are seeing it from a different perspective now. And this is where I think it's going to be massive for you.
Yeah.
Because people are seeing, more than anything else, the quality of life.
Exactly. You hit it right on the spot. So,
and you've got a massive role to play. And I know you're playing this. Is that yours is so nice. It's very easy to navigate.
Yeah.
The images, as you said, the images are the right images. If you don't show good images, don't show any images.
Exactly.
You do all of them.
And what we do is actually, for the images specifically, we check what people actually are viewing the most. What kind of images people are viewing the most, okay? Yeah. And that gives us an indication of what we should put as the first picture, okay? Because basically the first picture was going to get people interested in the property. And we found out that a lot of people actually... they don't care much about the view, I'll be honest with you. Okay, the view looks nice as a background or something like that. But they check the kitchen, they check the living room, they want to check the bedrooms, the toilets. Okay, so they want to know where they're going to live.
Okay. So let's put this in a different way. Tell us why. And I'm thinking about, because there's so many Qataris out there, right?
Yeah.
With properties.
Yeah.
Right? Why should they come to you to be able to either rent them or sell them?
Because we get the quality leads. That's the main selling point that we offer. Okay, we get the quality leads to our customers, and we have, I would say, very good customer service. Okay, that we're very accommodating. I think that gives us an advantage.
Nice.
Yeah.
And go. I want you to carry on. So what's important? So what's important with these properties? what should they be thinking before they come to you? What should they be thinking? Where should they take the photos? What is important? The important photos. Important information.
So the important. First of all, people want to see many pictures. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
They don't want to see 4 or 5 pictures. They want to see 10, 15, 20. They want to see as many pictures as possible, and real pictures, not renders. Okay. Yeah. And pictures that are gonna show where they're gonna live. So the bedrooms, as I said, the living rooms, the toilets, the kitchen, these kind of stuff. We have a team that checks on the information of the properties, okay? If everything is valid, everything makes sense. If something doesn't make sense, we return it to the customer. We tell them this doesn't make sense, so please clarify, or this image wouldn't work, please improve it, or have a better picture. So we work with our customers very closely, with our clients, that we kind of consult with them about what to post and what to list.
That is such massive bits, because it's such great advice if you've got customer service where you look up and say, hey, listen, if you just done your image a little bit on a different angle, it would bring out these areas. If you do that, that's a huge...
Another advantage that we have, it's actually because we are part of the community, we are part of the society, okay? So people know us. So they tell us, for example, I get calls telling me like, I'm looking for a property in this location, but you have nothing available in that location on Hapondo. Okay, and this is where we talk to our clients. We say we have a lot of interest in that location, but you're not putting any properties there, because in the end the brokers wants to sell what they want to sell, or want to rent what they want to rent.
Of course,
it's not the other way. They're not in direct communication with the users.
Where's the other places that we should be considering?
So I'll be. That's actually something that's very interesting that happened during the World Cup. Okay, in the beginning, a lot of attention was given to the Pearl and Lusail when it comes to properties, but lately people have been very much price aware or price conservative. They're looking for Bin Mahmoud, Mansoura, Al Sadd, okay, not just because of prices, as well as because I think the World Cup gave a lot of importance to the metro. Okay, so you'll find a lot of people actually looking for properties that are close to metro stations. It's convenient, they can go to their jobs much easier. So the way of thinking have changed as well.
When do you think about it? Because when the metro started,
there
was very few people on it.
Yeah.
But now I'm being told, I was only having a conversation the other day, the metros are really big.
No, I used the metro a lot. During the World Cup, the metro was the most convenient method of transportation.
And would you use it now?
Yeah, I would, of course. Yeah. I'm lucky I have a station close to me, so that's good.
It does make a difference, and you were just back in the upper side saying, that everybody's going to these areas.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking to myself, how sad to come in there in Mansoura. Really?
And it is. I mean, it's been consistently one of the top locations that are people searching for. Bin Mahmoud, Mansoura, said like for over maybe 3 months or 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just never considered it.
No, that was surprising to us. And also for the World Cup itself, I did some research about like other countries hosting the World Cup and how it has an impact on the real estate market. And it's actually interesting that it grows the real estate market by attracting a lot of foreign investments. So a lot of people actually start paying attention, as you mentioned, because I think the World Cup was an exhibition of the quality of life in Qatar.
Correct.
Okay, so a lot of people got interested in investing. They thought like this is a country that's stable politically and it's a very safe country. So why not go there? We see a lot of businesses happening there. We see the ecosystem of startups is very advantageous here.
Because everybody said, when the World Cup is finished, it's going to be kind of...
No, it's actually...
the opposite.
Yeah. It got a lot of attention.
A lot of attention.
Yeah.
And the thing with this, and I'm going to bring this up now with foreign investment, but you see so many companies coming into Qatar right now that want to set up here because of those reasons. And I think that we made a mistake. We did complete formation also. So we did a mistake because we were always looking at the jurisdictions and saying, what the Qatar Free Zone got to offer? What the Qatar Financial Center? What's the Ministry of Commerce and Industry? What Science and Technology Park? When really... what we're not looking at is seeing what the advantages are, just from a personal perspective.
Yeah.
And how important is it to have the quality of life somewhere that when you go back to your home, you think, this is the life. It just gets so much more out of you. And I was talking with a client last week and he said, hey, Steve, his calls from France. He said, look, me tell you something. If I want to pay somebody 5,000 euros, they pay tax on their money. I've also got to pay 5,000 tax to employ them.
Oh, yeah.
So in total, it was nearly 10,000 I had to pay. And coming to Qatar, there's none of those different.
Exactly.
So you can now put the savings that you're making into the quality.
Exactly.
That's where you are coming in.
And by the way, we're incubated by Qatar Science Technology Park as well. So I understand what I'm talking about. Even when it comes to mentoring and training and such, all the services are there available.
It's kind of, and we've touched on the kit. It's one of my favorites. I've got to be honest. I think the place is wonderful. I think it's still a sleeping giant, but I think Qatar is a sleeping giant.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why, because I think now that all the infrastructure's in place, the accommodation, everything is there. The jurisdictions, the changes in law, because one of the things that we know most of all with Qatar is that if they've got a problem, they will change it quite quickly.
Yes.
It can be overnight if they see something. And I think that the Science and Technology Park is one of those. It's got the infrastructure in place. It's got everything there. They're wonderful people. They want to help so many other people. And you were part of it.
Yeah. So what's interesting about it, as you said, it's sleeping giant, but actually a lot of things are going on there. But what we need to understand about QSTP is that it's very much invested in R&D.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's focuses a lot on building the technology rather than marketing it or making a business or commercializing it.
Yeah.
So it's more of building the technology. So they would invest in building something new and unique.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why you can't hear a big buzz about it, because that's what they're focused on. It's an R&D place. As you can see, there is like a lot of international companies there, such as Shell, for example. They're doing their R&D there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's how I think we need to think about Qatar Science Technology Park, because it's not just an incubation. It's very much invested into, I would say, technology development.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you go there and you see the startup, each one of them has to do with technology in a unique way, which is very interesting, honestly.
And before, because I want to talk about the startup system and how you built your business and how difficult it was. But one thing I wanted to do before I finish up with about foreign investors coming in. What are the advantages? And I got to find this out more. Because foreigners can come in now and they can go into certain areas and they can purchase property now.
Sure. Yeah.
What are those areas?
Actually, I don't have them on top of my head, but I know Lusail is one of them. The Pearl is one of them. Musharraf is there, but I think that some of like West Bay areas are in there. So actually, I would say the most attractive locations these are the one that you can purchase property there for foreigners, and you can get the permanent residency as well. So that's also an advantage that you have there.
What advantages? And I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to talk on behalf of the government. So
not the government, but what are the advantages of I know that they can get it. It's like being a Qatari, but with a Qatari passport.
Yeah.
So you get the benefits of the schools.
I think education, healthcare. Yeah.
And the visa.
Exactly. So you don't have to worry about renewing or applying for visa and not paying the fees and such. So.
Because there's so many foreign investors coming in right now and saying, what's those opportunities?
So actually, it's one of the interesting, I don't know if you've heard about Elisab project in Taifan Island. That actually was developed by a Saudi company, okay, which is very interesting, and it was right before the World Cup. Yeah. And they, Darul Arkan is the name of the company, and and that was, I think it's the first real estate project that developed by a Saudi company. Okay, so that shows you that we see a lot of projects are happening by the region, at least development companies from the region. Of course, we have the Mark, he's been here for a long time, which is from Emirates. So we see a lot of people developing real estate, but at the same time buying properties. You would see that a lot in the Pearl, for example. You see a lot of expats buying properties in the Pearl. And keeping them, sometimes some of them for investment. They just buy it and rent it out.
And they've been quite good investments.
Yeah, because I'll be honest with you, if you compare it, for example, to the UK or the US, there is a lot of fees that are embedded within buying a property. For example, council tax, I think, and then you have to have lawyers that you have to pay them fees, and so it has a lot of fees going on that you wouldn't be aware until you get the property itself. Yeah. Here, I believe it's more clear when you buy the property. Okay, so for example, if you're buying the Pearl, you know that you're going to have to pay the service charge, for example, every year. It's very straightforward. Maybe fees for the broker, and I think that's it. And then you have the utilities bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a huge advantage.
It's very straightforward.
Yeah, I'm going to introduce them to your website.
Please.
You're going to look after them too. So, but another question, and I, before we go on to the startup back again.
Yeah.
Is everybody's talking about it right now? Is rent and rentals?
Yeah.
Is the rent going to go up or is it going to go down?
So from our research, it's actually like we expect it to go down. Okay, but not drastically. We had actually an event before the World Cup as well, and on what's going to happen after the World Cup, okay, to the real estate market. And most of the expectations were that there will not be market crash or something like that. It's real estate in the end. People are going to need somewhere to live, okay, but the prices will drop, and they're starting to drop, but not that significantly, like 10 to 20%. Okay, drop. Okay, and we see it happening even on our website. But I think that's a good thing. Okay, prices went crazy during the World Cup, so they have to be adjusted. They have to be corrected. Okay, and that's what's happening. And brokers are realizing that, so they're doing it before they're actually forced to do so.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think that's a healthy thing.
And I think it's going to be healthy for you too, especially if you can get that news through quickly.
Yeah.
And you can tell people that the differences now in the rent and keep them updated.
Yeah.
Because I think that there's a lot of people looking for those type of things right now to see where the movements are happening.
True.
It's now going on to, I'm going to now move on easier stuff. Well, was it easier?
Sure.
When you first started up, was it like the funding to start with? How difficult was that to deal with?
So it's self-funded until now. Okay. We didn't do fundraising yet or seed investment or Series A or such. It's self-funded. The point of that is because we want to be the ones who's carrying the risk for now. Okay? That's not going to be the permanent situation, of course. We want to grow. As the name of your podcast, that's the point that we're here. We want to grow, actually. We want to expand. We want to go to different countries. Okay? And I know that there is interest in different countries. But as of now, we've been self-funded until now.
And I'm going to ask you some personal stuff.
Yeah.
Personal. But was that because it's difficult to raise finance? Or is it because you wanted to focus on what you do best and just keep it pushing forward?
I don't think it's difficult to raise funds. Okay? It's not. It was our own choice to keep it self-funded. It's not that we applied and we couldn't get, or we tried to find investors and we didn't find. No, we didn't reach out actually. Okay, so me personally, because I think, but that's a personal opinion. I could be right, I could be wrong, but I believe a business has to have some kind of sustainability, even if it's low. Okay, but it has to have some kind of cash flow coming in. Okay, for me, we need to see that clients would actually pay for our service, okay, before we get the funding and all of that. And we need to create a higher value of our product. Okay, that's another reason. I don't want to raise funds that are gonna be so cheap. I want to raise funds when I'm gonna go outside of the country, for example. Okay, yeah, I want to have something that's gonna be so valuable, and that people would pay the big bucks basically for it.
So when you go to somebody asking for investment, you'll go there potentially not in the strongest position.
Exactly.
Because they're going to tell you what they're willing to offer and what price.
Yeah.
But if they're coming to you,
exactly,
because you've got a success,
exactly,
that means you're going to get it on your terms and not theirs.
And that's what I'm aiming for. Okay, that's what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for that's what we're aiming for, all of us, to build something valuable. Okay, whether it's the technology itself, whether it's the user, the market, the content, regardless, something that's valuable.
Yeah. And was it easy to have all of your shareholders, people that's involved, to keep that
Alignment?
Good word. I like it.
There are challenges, I'll be honest with you, okay? Some people say that it's not a good thing to have a lot of partners, but I'm against that personally. I think having a lot of partners, but being able to have aligned partners is actually an advantage. Okay, each one come with their own point of view, with their own expertise, and that's creates, I would say, interesting conversations and discussions. And I would like to have a team always, to be part of a team. Okay, I think it's your only opportunity in a startup to create the team that you would like to work with. Yeah. I think that's very important.
Oh,
and yeah, okay, so and it's part of the joy of having a startup actually, is that you work with a team that you would like to work with. Like, I think, okay, it would be challenging, but if you could have a laugh in a meeting, that's nice.
How difficult was, and I'm not going to go to any of your jobs that you do, but I know that a lot of you have two jobs. You've
Yes.
got this one and you've got your day job.
Yeah.
How difficult is, because I keep on saying to people, listen, if you want a position and you want to do a startup, you better work your backside off and what you're doing, bring that money in, take the pressure off yourself.
Yeah.
And then once your work finishes, you've got to go and do another 8
job.
hours. Yeah, exactly. How difficult was that?
I think it's for me, like me personally, like I enjoy it. Okay, it's because having a business is basically on the side. That's it's like it becomes like something that you wouldn't think of it as a job. I don't think of it as a job, honestly. It's something that I want to build something. Okay, I want to do something. Having our day job is basically the way we fund our business. Okay, so it's important to have our day job, at least for the meantime. And in the business itself, we can actually build a team, and I think we have a great team actually who can handle the business even if I'm not there or one of the partners is not there. So I know in the startups world, a lot of people say this cannot be done. Okay, but it's a startup. Who cares? You do it the way you want to do it.
I think, yeah. When we're mentors or when we have those things and we're saying these, we haven't got all the right answers.
Yeah, exactly.
And no matter what I'm saying to anybody, you've got to make it work.
Exactly.
Not me.
Exactly.
So I understand where people look up and they say, it never works if you go into the job. But sometimes that's your only option. Yeah, but you've got to do the best you possibly.
Yeah, you can be in your different, like in the other job, and hire quality people that can help carry the business.
You said, and the great thing about what I just heard you say there is that you've got a team that virtually doesn't need you anymore.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful place to be, right?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It is.
But it's, I carry the responsibility. Okay, of the people more than the business.
No, of course.
Yeah.
But that's when the magic happens, because that's when things get done and they're supporting you because you were the leader, you were the one.
Yeah.
And I know that you've got 4 other partners also, but when you go out there and you lead from the front, that's surely your staff that who they're backing up and supporting and put their trust in you.
Actually, I feel like they're leading and I'm carrying most.
Well done.
Yeah, I feel it's that way.
Now, I'm going to go on a little bit more, because now I'm going to talk about Hapondo. You've done some amazing things.
Yeah.
What's the future? How are you going to embrace the new technologies? What are those new technologies?
So that's actually, it's a very important point, because technology is up to, like, gets updates every day, basically. I mean, you see now artificial intelligence is going crazy, and I'm personally getting older to understand everything that's going on. So that's why currently I have someone who's supporting us who's young. Okay, we have actually a young team, but he's more into focus into technology. He understands all of these things. For me, I have the stuff that are in my head, but I don't know how they can be done with technology. Okay, I can have the scenario of how it's going to happen, how it should look like, but I don't know how to code or program all of that, or I don't know what's the available technology. But we have actually a huge list of features that we want to add in Hapondo. Okay, unique features, I'll be honest with you. It's not like something that we copied. It's some stuff that we came up with because we've been in the market. Okay, we've heard people, we've heard our brokers, and we heard our users. And we understand the society and the community we're in. and information is very important, I would say. Okay, I think we're not at the stage of we having 100% informed users. Okay, we want to create this informed users to make the right decisions for themselves. Okay, we don't want people to be asking around, going around to know, okay, what's the price of the food, for example, in this area. Okay, this information should all be available and should be easy. It should be calculated even easily. So this is what we want to grow into that area. And we have a lot of new features, but I want to keep them as a secret right now. You can have a website, you can have platform or technology that offers you millions of options, and it has millions of features. But are you going to actually use all of them? I think it's the same comparison between the iPhone and the Samsung. Okay, you would find a lot of people buying Samsung, a lot of people buying iPhones. Okay, but I think like the Samsung gives you all the options in the world, all the features in the world. The iPhone kind of limits you a little bit, at least like in the past 5 years or so. So there are two ways of doing things. Okay, the preferred way for us, at least, that when we do something, we want to do it very well, and it has to be something that's going to be used. Okay, we don't want to create like options that people are not going to pay attention or don't care about it. Okay, we want to create something that people are going to use. Okay, could be as simple as a calculator. For example, if we did the augmented reality, nobody will care about it. Okay, but if we did the calculator, simple thing, people will actually use it. Okay, so here, like, where we place things in our priority list, like what will people actually use? What do people actually need? And then we do it.
That's brilliant.
Yeah,
it is brilliant, because we're sometimes looking at this technology thinking, yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
But you haven't done your market research.
Exactly.
That's what I love about yours. You look up, and I do love the advice that you're giving to people that probably going into rentals for the first time or going into selling their property for the first time. Educating them on what the best thing is.
Yeah.
What is a picture that's going to be used most of all? What kind of angle do you need? How do you want to decorate your
and the prices? The prices are important now. Now people are paying a lot of attention to the prices.
Yeah, well done. And I as the prices go on blockchain, is it something that you look? It's not romantic at all right now, but is it something?
You mean somebody buying a property with Bitcoin, for example?
Yeah. Is it going to be something that you're looking at in the future? Or
as of now, I'm not thinking that far ahead yet. Okay, when the country accepts the cryptocurrency stuff, and then like we'll see. But right now we want to share as much information as possible. We want to create the most seamless experience when it comes looking for real estate. Like one of the important things that we're focusing on a lot is sharing, making the information available without making the user go through a long journey. Okay, so for example, if the information, like let's say 2 rooms away, we want to make it here in this room, for example. We don't want the user to open 2 doors to reach the information he's looking for. So these kind of stuff are what really we're paying attention to right now.
What has been in your 3 years?
Yeah.
What's been those highlights that just make you keep on going and keep on going and keep on when the tough that?
I think I'm the wrong person to answer that, honestly. Maybe someone else. For me, I'm always like I always think the better is yet to come. Okay, so highlights, I would say that we're still surviving. I think that's a highlight. Okay, I think that's an advantage on its own, and it's, as I said, it was self-funded. I think that's a highlight that we can be proud of. We get a lot of people interested and attracted to the website. People know about it. People like you invited us here to talk about it, so we are happy about that as well. And I think it's the vision. It's what drives us a lot. Okay, I think it's the problems that we could solve with technology is what drives us a lot.
I think that the reason why I thought about you coming onto the podcast was for all those reasons.
Yeah,
you've really done so well, because a lot of times with startups, they start, as you said, there's some competitors come along, but they're not around too long.
Yeah.
But what you've done is you've created something really special. And the way that you work on your traffic and the things that you do to try and encourage that traffic, the way that you all come together as a team, I think those were the reason why I thought to myself, and you've got a really good product. and listening to now the way that you help and support the people, whether it's rentals or whether it's kind of buying property, I think that's the way to go. And I still think this AI chat, for instance, is going to put a lot of people out of business.
Yeah.
But it's not going to put you out of business because you
Hopefully,
from this perspective.
Yeah. So we're really stubborn, okay? We're really stubborn, and I think that helps us a lot, okay? If something doesn't work, we'll try to find another way to do it. So I think that's what's important. I think that's also like maybe something any entrepreneur have to think about it, that any business that you pay enough attention to could work. Okay, that's how I think. Okay, if one way doesn't work, try another way. It's like as simple as that.
You took one thing in there, and I was going to get you to finish on this. Was what's your advice to any starter? Like, what is your advice? Your 3 points of advice to give them.
For me, I think creating something that would help people is very important. I'm not driven a lot by finances. I'm mostly driven by what amazing thing could we do? How can we make a difference? How we can change something? I think that's very important. And as I mentioned, like paying any business, I think could work if you pay enough attention to it. Okay, just getting stuck to your ways doesn't always help. It could help, but doesn't always help. But trying different ways could help as well. So we do that a lot on Hapondo, for example. We do different strategies. We change our business model as we see fitting. And all of that is basically to have an impact in the market.
Wonderful. This has been a wonderful podcast for me.
Oh, thank you very much. It's been wonderful for me as well.
I really have really enjoyed it. And I'm an avid fan. I look at, because it's not easy. What business you're in is very competitive.
It is, yeah.
But you're going out there and you were continually leading against some big players.
Yeah, but that's the fun. I mean, if it's not challenging, I wouldn't see it's worth it. Honestly, like that's for me personally. If it's not challenging, it's not worth it. Yeah, and you learn a lot through the journey.
You've been an amazing guest, and you've got an amazing business. Congratulations to all your sharavholders.
Thank you very much.
Your team.
I hope they're happy with me as well. Like that's very important.
Everybody, thank you for listening today. As you can see, the type of people that we're going to get on I Want to Grow. Everybody wants to grow. You deserve to grow. But the one thing that I took from this today, it's not about what people tell you. It's not about opinions, okay? It's about what you get in there. And it's about how much hard work and determination that you put in. And this is a true example. And Hapondo is a true example of what you've got to do. You've got to put your mind on, get some skin in the game. It's not always about raising finances. It's about making the difference. And it's about raising that kind of sweat equity, making the money work, right?
Yeah.
It's bringing that revenue in.
Yeah.
When you feel that, there's no better place in the world than to feel those feelings.
That's right.
Thank you very much for listening. Until next week, bye for now.